Everybody Hates Rand is a Wheel of Time podcast that will contain spoilers for all 14 books. So if you're anti-spoiler, pause this, read all 14 books, and come back. We'll be here, waiting.
Our title is a joke and is meant to be taken as such. In the context of this podcast, everybody refers to us and our cat. You are free to feel however you want about Rand, who is a fictional character. Don't DM us.
The world is a mess, Dark One stretching out his hand. The dragon's reborn, the fire's been fanned, but everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand.
Some hot guy just got cast in the Wheel of Time in an undisclosed role, but judging by his hotness, he's probably Galad.
Yeah.
So, that's all I have to say about that. I'll stop scrolling through Twitter now.
You can scroll through Twitter as much as you want to.
No, you're only saying that because I'm sick.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, at least you admit it. Hi, Tybalt.
Fucking hell, I left the cabinet open. I was doing so good.
I don't know if you were doing that good. I feel like not 2 episodes ago you left the
I
cabinet.
know, but I didn't do it last week.
Okay, yeah,
Which
so
is
technically
a
a streak, yeah. I'm too close to the microphone, although I should be because my voice is...
Hey, will you want to come sit with me? Yeah? Uh-huh.
He's so confusing. This will be a short episode, just like mentions of Perrin's family in the Wheel of Time.
Yeah, seriously, shit. Gotta have a funnier opening.
What?
What can we joke about?
Having a funnier opening?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're so loud.
I'm sorry, I don't got jokes today. You gotta bring the jokes. I have the plague. My annual plague. My annual flirtation with death.
Have I told you that the Forever 21 at Southtown Mall is closing? So all their clothes are like $2.
Aren't their clothes already all like $2?
Yeah, their clothes are like $10, but now they're like $2.
Yeah, Forever 21, that is a store, that's for sure.
The point being that tomorrow the aviary crew is gonna go Forever 21 and then Shake Shack.
Ooh, what a fun...
Yeah, I know
What
you.
a fun day.
Do you have stuff tomorrow? You're really welcome to come.
No, I do not have stuff tomorrow, but I'll just jot it into my calendar that I'll be suffering.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a really pathetic sick person, which you've already heard about if you've listened to We Don't Watch Outlander this week, or read my blog this week, which descended into, like, a fit of delusion near the end.
It happens.
Stopped punctuating. It was bad.
These things happen.
Yeah. I mixed up 2 words, but I still can't remember the second word. What's that graph that you learned in algebra? That's like a curve.
The bell graph?
No, it's got a...
parabola.
Parabola!
Is that what it is?
I think so.
That's like a U?
I felt like it was an ellipses.
No.
I know.
That's not right.
None of it's right. None of it's right. Anyway, no, tomorrow I'll be taking a sweet-ass NyQuil at around 7 p.m. and going to bed.
7 p.m.? Okay, well, we'll get this done by 6:30.
No, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tonight we can go till 8. What the fuck ever.
Hell yeah.
I'm on the edge of glory.
Hanging on a moment with truth.
Oh no, Lady Gaga's gonna sue us.
Oh yeah, Lady Gaga, don't sue us. Even though I'm gonna sue you for the emotional damages of you saying you don't remember Art Pop.
Yeah, how could she not remember Art Pop? The lady wrote it. Didn't she?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
I'm pretty pissed about it.
Yeah, that was pretty savage of her. Okay, I don't know. There was an opening in there somewhere. This is Everybody Hates Rand.
Emily wants to be done really badly.
It's not that I want to be done with the podcast, this podcast episode. It's that I want to be done with these chapters, which are so bad. I mean, last week was bad because it involved domestic abuse and spanking.
Yeah.
But this one is also bad. Spanking in a non-fun, sexy way, I should clarify. These chapters are also bad because it introduces Perrin's entire family in 1 page and then 9 pages later kills them all off.
Yeah.
It is the most buck-wild literary decision that has ever been made.
It's extremely stupid, is what it is.
Yeah. So anyway, this is Everybody Hates Rand, although today we hate Perrin.
This is, yeah.
Everybody hates Rand and sometimes Perrin. Most of the time, Perrin. No, Tibble, not the very loud toy.
Go play with your cracked banana.
Can you have your cracked banana? Okay. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? This is Everybody Hates Rand for the 9th time, your friendly neighborhood Wheel of Time podcast. I'm Emily Jushaw.
And I'm Sally Gidger.
Sally's calm. I'm not. I'm on the verge of tears at any moment.
I can be not calm if you'd prefer.
No, it's soothing.
Okay.
Be whatever you want to be, is all I have to say about that. I'm really worried those flowers are going to fall over. They're on a very steady surface.
They're pretty, though.
And they're pretty much dead.
But they're still pretty.
And Tibble didn't eat them, which was a major...
It's because Emily threateningly placed the spray bottle next to
Yeah,
them.
I put the spray bottle right next to
like
him
a
as a
severed
reminder.
head at the gates of a city.
Like fucking the head of a horse in the guy's bed sheets in The Godfather.
Because sometimes when Emily is sleeping and Tibble is like, oh, gotta scream, she'll just open her door and spray him in the face and close the door.
What's wild is that now he runs. I open the door, we make eye contact for about half a second, and then he sprints away.
Yeah.
And I have to go chase him down wherever he's hiding and then spray him in the face.
He's so annoying.
Because he knows it's bad, but he just can't stop doing it.
Ow.
What?
My
Your
body
neck?
hurts. My back.
Oh, mine too. Tibble. What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Okay. Continue. This is our Ding Dong podcast for Ding Dongs.
Already.
We are talking about chapters 29 and 30 in The Shadow Rising, Point of View, Perrin Ibarra, a total dipshit.
It's a ho-ho podcast for hoes.
It is a ho-ho podcast for hoes,
Okay,
you're right.
Tibble, that's
I
enough.
love hoeing.
Tibble.
Anyway, other characters include Gaul, Fail, Bane, Chiad, Loyal, Egg's parents, Brandywine, Alvier, aka Bran, and Marin Alvier. Also, Cenn Buoy and some other people reference. Oh, there's also a cat named Scratch, who seems like a good cat. But anyway, they get to the Two Rivers, and they see that the Althor farm has been burned.
Thanks for going through the entire dramatis personae while I was
You're welcome.
exiling Tibble. I was gone that entire time.
I was just filling up the airtime, baby.
Yeah, with all the character names.
Okay,
You said Cenn Buoy, and I was like, that sounds so wrong, but I cannot physically think of a different way to say it.
Is that not how you say it?
I don't know. It's just Buoy as his last name.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
It can't fucking be in the pronunciation.
I've
guide.
always thought it was just Buoy.
Well, I have no fucking idea. It just sounds wrong, but like
I get it.
Robert
yeah.
Jordan wrote the dang thing, so
It's not in the pronunciation
Damn
guide,
it.
unfortunately.
Buoy.
Apparently, Jarrett Byer is supposed to be Jarrett BR. Some shit like that.
Fucking
Jarrett.
Jarrett. BR.
I can't deal with this fucking. Maybe it's under.
Prisoner Jarrett BR. Your time of your parole's begun.
You know what that means? Yes.
Instead of Javert, it's Jarrett.
Shut up.
He is the Javert character. Only he doesn't have any realization moments. He doesn't have an epiphany.
At the end
Yeah.
Because he realizes that, oh shit.
He just realizes
Life
he's a
is
shitty person.
complicated.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah.
done.
Javert has a really interesting literary arc. He's like, oh fuck. Sometimes there are not easy answers. And he's just so overwhelmed by that that he
I mean, I get it.
jumps off a cliff. Or
So,
whatever.
would you call it Buoy?
Buoy.
Like Brie?
Buoy.
Cenn Buoy.
Buoy. Buoy?
Yeah,
Buoy.
Cenn Buoy. I guess Buoy, but I've always just read it as Cenn
I have
Buoy.
no idea. I think I've always just like skimmed over that word when I encounter it in text. Because it's a dumb word. There's so many vowels.
Which leads to a more French pronunciation.
Oh yeah, and as we all know, everyone in the Two Rivers is fucking French.
I mean...
Egwene.
Egg.
Egwene. Marin. Alvir, you know.
Yeah.
Maha. No one could ever teach me how to pronounce French words. I took like 9 years of French. Couldn't ever figure it the fuck out.
Yeah. Anyway, the Althor farm is burned. The sheep are missing.
Which is the real tragedy.
Yeah, and Perrin's like, oh shit, Tam would never let his sheep go missing.
Yeah, he fucking loves his sheep. And also, like, it is a creepy image. I'll give it that. It's like, everything is just burned out, and they're kind of in this, like, I don't know what I think that the Two Rivers landscape is. I guess it's a lot like the Utah mountain landscape, though. Which means that it's kind of, like, desert wasteland-ish at times. So, like, when they describe, like, I don't know, the quarry road and things like that, it's already kind of eerie, which I think we've talked about when Rand and Tam were on the quarry road at the very beginning. It's just kind of like this eerie Indiana setting.
Indiana?
Did you know there's an entire TV show called Eerie, Indiana?
No, that's amazing.
It's kind of like the X-Files, but for little kids, and in the, like, I think it must have been in the 90s.
Eerie,
Late 90s. It's got the kid from Hocus Pocus in it, which is always really confusing to me because I see him in Hocus Pocus and I'm like, where the fuck is that from? And Devin's always like, he's from Eerie, Indiana. And I'm like, oh, thanks, Devin, the only other human on the planet who has watched Eerie, Indiana.
Okay. Stop this podcast and watch Eerie, Indiana.
No, don't. It's so bad.
Name your next child Eerie, Indiana.
All I remember is there's this one where there's like an evil school optometrist and she or he gives eye exams, but then people are like hypnotized and zombies.
I hate that.
Yeah. And it's just events like that every episode.
Sounds spooky.
Yeah.
But going back to Wheel of Time. So what we have happening in these chapters is the classic homecoming arc.
Isn't one of the chapters called Homecoming?
Yeah, I think it's called.
Something.
I don't remember.
One is Beyond the Oak.
Yeah, which is the 29 is actually legitimately called Homecoming.
Aw, dang.
Cookie, you that mine like a fucking steel trap.
I've just read it so many times.
But we have a classic homecoming, which is a really common structure in fantasy because it is a really common structure in myth. It's particularly outlined in Joseph Campbell's Hero's Journey, where, like, because it's like a circle, if you've not ever seen a diagram of the hero's journey, it is just like a circle coming to the idea that it is cyclical, so a character leaves and then inevitably has to have some type of homecoming.
Yeah.
And I think...
Sometimes it's a more metaphorical homecoming, like finding a family if you didn't have a family, and finding a place for yourself or things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the most famous examples are like in Lord of the Rings when the hobbits have to return to the Shire, and in the Odyssey when Odysseus eventually does return home. And like in both of those scenarios, they're like bad, violent homecomings. At least if you're going by the books, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, because when Frodo and Co come back to the Shire, it's basically like a military state. It's
very scary,
frightening, and we see a lot of the same type of things happening here in terms of like a quasi police state in that
everyone's afraid that they'll be reported.
Yeah,
they're like checking the blinds, the curtains, you know.
Yeah, they feel like they're being watched.
Yeah,
they're worried about what they're saying. Like Mistress Elvire references her house being turned over for having quote-unquote blasphemous books.
Which, again, how can you define blasphemy when we don't know what the fuck the religious structure in Wheel of Time is?
Stupid. But, and I feel like we get a particular, and whether or not this is intentional, doesn't matter, we get like a particular callback to Lord of the Rings, where we have the famous Brandywine River, and here Egg's father's name is Brandolwyn or some shit.
Brandolwyn.
Like that.
Which I would only ever remember because Gaul addresses him by his first name. Okay, this chapter has exactly one very good part, and it's where Perrin is introducing Gaul, and Gaul is like, hello. I've brought you this looted treasure from the Stone of Tyr. And they're just, like, addressing Edwin's Egg's mom so formally, and she's just like, okay. She's
like, this
thank you
very
so much.
expensive.
It's very beautiful. And he's like, I offer you protection. I will protect your roof. And she's like, okay, I'll decide if I need that. It's just very good. I like to watch cultures clash in a wholesome way.
Yeah, where she's just like, I don't really know what's happening, but
yeah, we're just,
cool.
everyone is super polite to each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so nice.
I all, like, vows formally.
Yeah, and he's just like, hello, I'm the nicest, tallest boy you ever saw. And Egg's mom is like, fuck yeah, he is.
Be like, do you know that I have a daughter? Were you aware of that?
I think I have multiple daughters.
Does Egg have sisters?
I don't know. It sure seems like she's referenced to have... I mean, I'm sure we'll get into this, but it is so unclear. I don't fucking know what Nynaeve's entire family structure...
I don't think Nynaeve has family.
Nynaeve has nothing.
She popped up out of the sea,
yeah,
like
Nynaeve,
Aphrodite.
Yeah, Athena, like, popped out of Robert Jordan's head and briskly walked onto the page.
It's a better metaphor for
And
Nynaeve.
yeah, Egg has parents, but she has... like spectral siblings who sort of appear in some passages.
And Perrin has a stuffed straw family that Robert Jordan just burns to the ground.
Perrin has 98 named family members, and they're all unceremoniously murdered.
Yeah, it's really brutal. I don't understand. Like, legitimately, what is the point of giving him a family if you're just going to kill him? Because it isn't even a trauma that, like, impacts Perrin. He cries this one time all over Fail's bosom, and then he's like, lols, we're fine.
Yeah, I'll say this for it. As, like, writing trauma, that moment before I think he starts crying into Fail's bosom, where he's just trying to continue having a normal conversation, but he just keeps getting distracted, is a very good depiction of, like, shock.
Yeah.
But, that said, long-term, this trauma, like you said, means nothing.
Yeah, and so it's just like, yeah, you're right, that is a very good scene. Where he's just like, okay, I can't process this at the moment. I don't know what to do. He
actually enters a very Matt-like zone where he's physically acting without being able to process things physically.
Yeah, like he crushes a cup. He cuts his thumb on his axe.
It's very interesting.
Which is like, whoa. Yeah, which says a lot about how Matt reacts to the world in a traumatized way constantly.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, Matt's like, can't process, I guess. But, yeah, it's weird. It's a weird writing choice, because Perrin just is like, once I was apprenticed to the blacksmith, I never really saw my family, so it's like, why not just make him the blacksmith's literal child?
Or, like, there are just so many ways to solve this problem, or be like, he was adopted by the blacksmith and his child, and that would, like, actually be an interesting thing, because then you have this sort of... Like, the whole thing about knowing that Rand is the fucking Dragon Reborn in Book 1 is because he's the one that has, like, is referenced as not having, like, direct parentage within the Two Rivers. His mom's missing, so we don't, like, really know what the deal is. He doesn't look like his dad.
Yeah.
If you had Perrin just be, like, this random adoptee of the blacksmith, it would be kind of like, oh,
interesting.
Hey. Yeah. And I don't know. It's, like... I don't think any of the Two Rivers folks do a very good job of having actual lifelike family relationships.
Yeah.
Like, Rand thinks about Tam occasionally, but it's always with, like, I don't know, colored by his own trauma regarding his parentage.
Yeah.
Like, he only ever thinks about Tam in the context of, like, when fathers come up, if that makes sense. And, like, I think about my dad a lot more than that. Because my dad raised me. I don't know. I think about my mom definitely a lot more than that.
Yeah, I think about my mom a lot more. But, yeah, especially, for a parent, that was a huge part of your life.
Yeah, it's like Rand literally had one other person he lived with.
Yeah.
That was his dad.
His papa.
And it's like, even if you don't have I think Matt comes the closest because he pretty quickly off the bat, like in Book 3, he references his sisters, his parents, things like that, but clearly doesn't have a very close relationship with any of them, which kind of makes sense for Matt because he's had half his memories.
Yeah, it
taken
completely,
out.
Matt is like a quasi-different person.
Yeah, but then having parents suddenly have a large family and then being like, but he's never thought about them prior to this point.
Yeah.
Is so odd.
I know, it's so weird, and it adds this really weird, like, Like, I'm trying to think, like, what possible function this brutal massacre could serve. And it basically is just, like, I don't know, some type of weird sacrificial lamb to convince Perrin to not turn himself into the White Cloaks.
But then that's just bad writing.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's good.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
But I've just been trying to, like, wrap my head around what it could possibly... Like, its actual function. Because you can read it, just be like, I don't... What the fuck just happened? There's no point. But, whatever. I'm rambling. But anyway...
Like, I just was reading A Memory of Light to do my blog, and there's a scene where Perrin is about to go off on a vision quest with Gaul, like he does.
Excuse me?
Yeah, he's just, like, going into Tel'aran Riyadh.
With Gaul?
Yeah.
What?
I can't explain it.
Is it a gay thing?
No, I wish it was a gay thing. He's just like, Rand, will you put me and Gaul in the wolf dream? And Rand's like, I'm the 19th person to tell you that it's called Tel'aran Riyadh, but sure. You dipshit. It's super bad what you're doing. And Perrin's like, I don't care, I've got me and my trusty 7-foot-tall sidekick. Anyway, right before Perrin goes on his vision quest, one of the White Cloaks, Bornhald, the young, sad Bornhald, takes him aside and is like, hey, I gotta tell you something. It's a really bad time, I know this, but there are literally no other points in this plot where I can have a moment with you, I guess, so It's coming out now. And it is that, in fact, Trollocs did not kill your family. It was, like, put on feign. And he's also basically like, and I'm complicit because a bunch of White Cloaks just stood by doing nothing.
Yeah.
And Perrin is just like, whoa, that's messed up. And then he leaves and never thinks about it again.
Oh my fucking
It happens
twice. Robert.
So what I'm saying is, you might be able to serve a better purpose if it was, like, clear to Perrin that it was the White Cloaks and not the Trollocs, because that might add some, like, more dimension to Perrin's relationship with the White Cloaks.
Yeah.
Do you need help undoing your necklace?
No, I was doing my little mock neck. It keeps coming on the, like, whatever, the clasp, and it gets tangled in my hair, and it hurts.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Anyway, it might have, like, added something to Perrin's relationship with the White Cloaks, and instead of it having be this, like, one-sided they hate him, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't like them, obviously. He thinks
Yeah.
they're, like, a terrorist group, but here finally is, like, a personal reason to hate them, and that might actually be, I don't know, a little bit interesting.
Well, yeah, and I think yes, like, it would add, I don't know, some dimension, like you said, but it also is one more, like, it adds more verisimilitude to the idea that there's a quasi-police state in the Two Rivers if they're out here just killing families for the crimes of their family members.
Yeah, exactly.
It just, there's, like, a lot of ways in which this could have really functioned to make the Two Rivers plot deeper and more interesting, instead of it just being, like, Perrin and Fail yelling at each other for 400 pages.
Yeah, like, the function of his parents dying, I mean, not his parents, his entire fucking family dying. He's got, like, 9 aunts. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's like, and this aunt, and this aunt, and this aunt, and this aunt.
Yeah, guys, it is so egregious how he just spends a paragraph naming all of them.
He's like, I have 2 little sisters and a little brother, and I'm like, I've never heard of this.
Yeah, who
literally
could have fucking known?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, like, the only function it serves is to, like, bring him and Fail closer together.
Yeah, to get rid of their dumb fight.
Yeah.
And it's like, consider this. You shouldn't have to kill 47 people to get your characters to
1
stop
million
fighting.
people
You
died.
don't have to legitimately have a small war for your characters to just not be annoying.
It's so fucking bizarre.
I hate it.
So bizarre.
Excuse me. Yeah. But after their good cry fest, Fail's like, so you're not going to turn yourself in, right? And he's like, no, it wouldn't serve any purpose.
No, apparently they'll just do anything they want, no matter, like, I no longer have people to die for, essentially. And it's like, what? Yeah.
So his plan is not go visit his family, which is, I can understand, might be a little traumatic, but to go find Rand and Matt's dads, where they are hiding in the woods.
Yeah, because we find out that Rand's dad, Tam and Abel.
Abel? I like Abel.
I do too.
Because he's Abel.
Like Cain and Abel.
Mm-hmm. Matt's obviously
Vibe
Cain.
check. No, Tam, I guess, made it away from the White Cloaks and grabbed just Abel, apparently.
Yeah,
and they
and was like,
went
"Fuck
off into
your wife
the
and
woods.
kids."
Yeah, and then Matt's mom and sisters, as well as the Luhans, the blacksmith and his wife, who functionally raised Perrin during his adolescence, it seems.
Yeah.
They have all been kind of taken captive by the White Cloaks. And we also learn that this town is unwilling to, like, protest the White Cloaks because they believe the White Cloaks are keeping them safe from the Trollocs, who have, like, the Trollocs were the ones to burn Rand's, or to kill, they say the Trollocs killed Perrin's family, and, you know, Trollocs are out and about, so the White Cloaks are like, oh, but we're protecting you, but we also need you to spy on each other for us. It's just like, yeah, you're right. It's like the definition of a military state.
Yeah.
Like, there's a greater quote-unquote enemy. And, like, obviously the Trollocs are the enemy because that's what fantasy does, is present you with a dehumanized red shirt henchman to just, like, slaughter en masse and not feel bad about it. But God forbid there be complicated morality in fantasy.
Only regarding sex.
Yeah, that's true. There's only morality in...
Rand's like, fuck, I saw a titty. Fuck, I dreamed about a titty.
I want to do a college AU of, like, the boys. Rand was just raised super conservatively, and, like, the first time he's on his laptop doing homework and, like, a pop-up ad for, like, you know, porn pops up, and he's like, Matt! What the fuck?
What is this?
And Matt's like, oh my god.
You're like, this isn't even a good site, Rand. What are you doing?
Matt's like, do you need me to show you, like, quality porn? Like,
And like, I don't know what's happening.
what's happening? And Rand's like, no, women need to be locked indoors at all times. Their sexuality is too powerful.
It's too powerful, and therefore it is my job to kill myself over it.
Yeah.
Drama, little mama. Randolph.
Okay.
But after Perrin's like indefinite period of crying, they go into the kitchen, and there's Loyal, who's just like charmingly
Who I was wondering about.
drinking tea out of a soup bowl and chatting with Egg's mom. Then Perrin lays out his plan to the lads, and Egg's parents are like, shitty idea, and he's like, don't give a shit.
Yeah, fuck.
I'm in charge of this here band of misfits.
This here operation.
Yeah, so then Egg's mom is like, cool, we're gonna hide you in the old sick house.
No, the dad is like, we'll hide you in the old sick house. And the mom is like, shocking that you came to this logical conclusion, my husband, who I claim to love, but also patronize constantly.
Yeah.
They're like a sitcom family.
I know, it's so annoying.
Like a bad early aughts sitcom family that was just like, yeah.
Every time I hear that, I'm like, whoa.
Oh.
I just never think of it that way. But yeah, where it's like the wife is constantly nagging her dumb husband.
And he's Kevin James. And
Of course.
yeah.
There's no other husband.
He's the titular sitcom husband.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's like, yeah, we'll go to the old sick house and we'll all split up first. So the A will go their separate ways.
Yeah.
Like, peace the fuck out. We'll be here. We're so fucking efficient. We'll be there in 30 seconds and not a soul will have seen us.
And that's exactly what happens.
And that's exactly
pretty
what
much.
happens because they are iconic characters.
Yeah. Also, they just got so long legs.
They got such long legs they can just step over houses.
And they're like, yeet. I'm gonna yeet myself over this village.
Yeah, and then Egg's mom is like leaving with Perrin and Fail and Loyal and Cenn Buoy.
It's just how I've always said it.
I'm not making fun of you. I am literally making fun of the name itself that, like, how else could you pronounce it? I don't yeah, I'm with you. Buoy.
Cenn Buoy.
Send whatever the fuck. It was like, I'll report you to the principal.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And Egg's mom is like, no.
Yeah, and it's this whole, like, gender politics.
Yeah, it's this
blah,
whole, this is
blah.
women's circle business, Cenn, so don't you dare tell anyone. And he runs off, and Perrin's like, well, do you think he'll tell anyone? And she's like, no, he wouldn't, but...
And then Phil's like, wow, you're really good at manipulating men. And then Egg's mom is like, well, this is how you do it.
Well, this is how you do it. And Perrin's like, this is horrible.
Admittedly, I got the same advice from my mom when I was a kid.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So,
Troubling.
Toxic monogamy be like that.
It be like that. Yesterday, today, hopefully not tomorrow.
Hopefully by tomorrow, monogamy as an institution has been
Slain.
obliterated. By me.
Personally, the Godzilla of destroying monogamy.
That's my dream in life.
Be pretty sweet.
Is to destroy toxic. If monogamy works for you,
Yeah,
that's fine.
monogamy's
But
fine.
toxic monogamy. But also, if you're worried about whether or not you have a bad relationship with toxic monogamy, consider ethical non-monogamy and see where your thought experiment takes you.
I haven't reached that part of the book yet, but
It's a very good book.
sure I will.
Very excited for you to read that essay. I want to talk to you all about it.
It's called Pleasure Activism by Adrienne Marie Brown.
It's a very good book. Changed my life.
I like that their name doesn't have capital letters. I think it's cool.
Are you gonna do that?
No, I'm not that cool.
No.
No. I'm sorry that when I'm sick I sort of slip into my,
No!
my early 20th century London chimney sweep persona.
Because Gethin's mom as well, she calls her mum, which is really cute. But sometimes she'll just be like, yeah, me mum. And all of us are like, what?
Yeah, me mum. Me mum.
And it's really adorable. It's very
I have a
adorable.
very bad British accent.
No! What?
I can't say what.
What? What?
What? What the?
What in the crime and Nitley? Okay, anyway, Cenn runs away and they go to the tree where the ale are, and then they go deeper into where the old sick house is, and who should come out but two warders.
Thomas and Ivan.
Ivan.
Or Yvonne, but who cares, really?
Doesn't he die or some shit?
I'm sure one of them dies.
It's
They
fine.
all die eventually. Who cares?
Yeah. Fuck the warder system.
Haven't they met
It's
Thomas
weird
before?
sexual slavery.
Like, Tomas.
Tomas. Yeah, that sounds
Isn't he
familiar.
Varen's?
Yeah. Because it's Varen and Alana who are here, right?
Yeah, and I guess for some reason, no, Tomas is definitely with Varen.
Yeah.
You'd think Perrin would recognize him and be like, oh, yuck, Varen's here.
Well, was Tomas with Varen when she was in the north? Or wherever she was with them?
I remember him being there at some point.
Whatever. Anyway.
No, because then they got back to the White Tower and he wasn't with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you're right, yeah. I don't know. He's a very weird character.
But then all of a sudden, here's Varen's
One warder and one of Alana's warders.
Gross. Alana, magical rapist.
Yeah, Alana, magical rapist. So if you start feeling fond of her, just don't.
Just fucking don't. She's a terrible garbage character.
Yeah, she's a horrible, horrible character.
And I wish she would die.
Yeah, me too. But yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Then Perrin's like, what the heck? There are Aes Sedai in these woods. What? Why didn't you tell the mayor, your husband? And Egg's mom is like, 'cause dead men tell no tales. She's like, it's easier to keep a secret if just you and all of your female neighbors know. Some women have stopped sleeping with their husbands so as not to sleep talk the secret. And I'm like...
The fucking drama.
I'm like, the toxic monogamy here in the Two Rivers
I know.
is so peak. Like, you sort of think of the Two Rivers as this idyllic setting, you know, you want to just label it the Shire.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, you go back here and you start considering that, oh, this is where Rand got all his messed up bullshit about women. This is where they all got their messed up bullshit about women, and it's like, oh yeah, this entire place is
Hell on earth.
yeah, it's just really
Hades
bad.
town. Hell on earth.
Yeah, I can't remember the music.
Do you think I'd be impressed
With
this
this
neon
neon
acropolis? Lover, what have you become?
Cold cars, and oil drums.
Warehouse walls and factory floors.
I'll love you.
Meanwhile,
They're gonna sue us. Hades Town is gonna sue us.
Hades Town Incorporated is gonna come for us.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was Tubthumping by Hades Town Incorporated.
Anyway, that was Tubthumping. I don't know if it was that instead of anyway, that was Wonderwall.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall. The new
Anyway,
here's
here's
Wonderwall.
Tubthumping.
Anyway, that was Tubthumping.
Anyway, that was Tubthumping. Is there anything else to say?
No, then the chapter ends, and I'm like, I can't believe I just read 26 pages of fucking nonsense.
Yeah, and I think in the next one we have to read 3 chapters, which we probably should have thought about, or I probably should have thought about. I'm not going to blame you for writing the chapter thing that I wrote. But it's like, it's kind of a cliffhanger. Should have just gone to the next
Yeah,
chapter.
it's fine.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Maybe it'll actually give us 45 minutes worth of...
We did pretty good. I can talk for another 10 minutes. I always got shit to say. Like, for instance, did you guys know that most male birds don't have penises?
Okay.
Google it.
I'm not gonna Google it.
The
We've talked
exception
about bird dicks too much in this
Is
show.
waterfowl.
Yeah, ducks.
Yeah, ducks have corkscrew penises.
Yeah, you talked about that. Well, you didn't talk about how they were corkscrew, but you said ducks have penises. Back when you were talking about bird, then the forbidden word that I'm not gonna say anymore.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. We did already talk about that last week. What's another fun fact that I have?
We don't have to do this. We've given them long episodes. We can just have a short episode this once.
Okay.
What do you want?
Your prerogative, love.
Well, I just don't have anything else to talk about in these chapters.
Okay. I just don't want them to feel like they've been cheated.
Oh.
That's fine. Anyway, thank you to Glenna Mackenzie for the use of our theme song, Tubthumping by Glenna Mackenzie.
Tubthumping by Glenna Mackenzie. Anyway, that's Tubthumping.
Anyway, that's what the name of the song should be. Anyway, that's Tubthumping.
Uh-huh.
It's really fabulous, and we've been getting so many compliments from people. I say we, I mean Glenna Mackenzie has been getting compliments for her wonderful composition, so thank you, Glenna, for being amazing.
Yeah, everyone wants to listen to it on repeat.
For 10 hours.
So do I.
Yeah, it's very catchy.
Maybe that's what I'll do to fill in the time. I'll just have
Put
Glenna
the theme
Mackenzie
song
on
at
loop
the
for
end.
like 10 minutes.
Thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon. We're getting really close to our next goal, which, I don't know why I said that, which, like, is a bad thing, which is very exciting. Though we do have to figure out potentially some copyright things, so.
Yeah.
Because we really, in case you were wondering, don't want to be sued.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of our biggest fears.
Yeah, I'd say I have a phobia of being sued.
I have a litigation phobia.
Litophobia.
Litigation of phobia.
Yeah, whatever it is.
But, yeah, thank you to everybody
I'm gonna
who
Google it.
supports us. I wonder if there's a word for fear of being sued.
Fear of bees.
No!
Fear of being sued.
No.
Doesn't seem to be that there's just don't live in fear of being sued by Ask Dave.
How, Dave?
I don't know. 5 reasons you shouldn't fear being sued too much. I feel like the too much in parentheses sort of just feeds into my paranoia.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But anyway, we're working on that.
Work in progress.
Work in progress. Emily's doing amazing work on it, as she always does. While I am not.
No, I'm not. I haven't done any work on it.
Well, Emily's been sick. Okay, thank you to everybody who follows us on social media, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. That is where we are. You can check out our website, everybodyhatesrand.com. We'd also super appreciate it if you would log into iTunes and leave us a review and a rating. 5 stars, obviously. Otherwise, don't even fucking bother.
Oh my god.
And
rate it however you want. Just don't say that we mispronounce names and you don't like it, because then I'll want to kill you. I won't. This is not a death threat.
But
in my head I'll want
we'll
to.
be like, what was the point of that? Why would you take time out of your busy day to
And
say...
the ghosts of Christmas present will have to come to me and be like, Emily, stop thinking death threats. You're so bad.
Okay.
You have the spirit of Christmas in your heart all year long.
But then some fucko came on iTunes and was like, they don't know how to pronounce Egwena.
I know how to
And
pronounce
therefore-
Egwene, I just don't. There's a difference.
And therefore,
You
you've
fuckhead.
ruined the spirit of Christmas in Emily's heart. Are you happy? That's what Charles Dickens would have wanted of you.
It probably is. He was the worst.
Okay, anyway.
So bad.
My sign-off this week is, unfortunately...
Oh, no, that was Dostoevsky. Remember how I read that about
Oh,
the author?
my God.
Dostoevsky watched his father be murdered by peasants
Yeah.
who drowned him with alcohol.
Yeah, it was...
Because he was a drunkard and they were like, vengeance is sweet.
Yeah.
Guys.
Shit was whack.
What the fuck was
Explains
up?
a lot about Dostoevsky.
Oh, it explains so much about Fyodor. He's just like daddy issues on every fucking page of his books.
TM, baby.
Yeah. The sign off.
Yeah, our sign off this week. I do know we have some listener ones waiting, and I'm sorry, but this one is just too timely.
The listener ones are there for when nothing bad happened to us that week.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah.
But this week...
But something bad did happen.
Something terrible happened this week.
Oh, no.
In that, I have been burning a lot of candles lately.
Oh, no.
Because it calms me down, because I've been having a few very extremely high stress things happening in my life. But I burn them on our coffee table, which is one of Tybalt's favorite places to be.
You know where this is
And
going.
so I was reading alone on Sunday night. Da-da-da-da-da. Tybalt jumps on the table, and thank God I happened to look up right at the moment that his tail lit ablaze like God's burning bush. And I had to, like, leap up and grab his tail and, like, blow it out before it could, like, reach his skin and scare him, so that I didn't want him, like, obviously running through the house with a burning torch on the end of his butt.
He's like that orc with the burning torch who explodes Helm's Deep.
But anyway, Tybalt did not get hurt. The fire didn't get to his skin. He just has a little bit of singed fur.
I can't even tell. He's got so much fur.
It was very traumatic for me, though. And then I had to text Emily shamefully and be like, I lit our cat on fire.
It was super funny. I was at the dinner table with my family, and I was like, Don't worry, I didn't tell them. I know you wouldn't want me to.
You could have. I think they would have thought it was pretty funny.
They probably would have.
If it makes Anne laugh, I'll allow it.
Anne wasn't there. She was with her fiance.
Nope, unacceptable.
I know, it's
Petrifying.
pretty petrifying. Don't worry, you'll probably see her on Saturday.
Well, I hope it's her bridal shower.
I know, I just don't know if you'll be able to come.
Yes, I will be there. It was my priority. We gotta go to the Container Store.
Oh, yeah,
get some
that's
jazzy
true.
wrapping paper.
We do. Buying your sister lingerie is a pretty weird experience, y'all. But it's gotta be done.
You did great.
You did great. You picked out some really classy items.
Thank you. I like lingerie a lot.
I know. You have good taste in lingerie.
Thank you.
As far as I know.
Okay, that's the end of the episode. We made it almost to 45 minutes, which will be 40 minutes or less after Emily.
No, I'm not gonna edit any of this.
Oh, okay.
Bullshit. Just kidding. I'll edit a couple.
Drop it raw.
Drop it raw. I'm so sorry that noise happens in every fucking episode. It's always my creative cloud being like, you have updates available. And I'm like, Adobe.
Nobody gives a shit.
Stop haunting me. The ghost of Christmas future.
Goodbye.
Don't do war crimes. Bye.